Hi, hello, Bolade here, and I wish to bring you a Rema from space. Not from the deck of Neptune, though, but one that can help you understand the DJ, Neptune, and Rema situation. So, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I feel like there's a lesson for young entertainers to learn here on copyright. And yeah, let's go. For a backstory, DJ Neptune dropped his Greatness 2.0 album, which is phenomenal. Go stream it if you haven't already, and if you have, go stream it again. So basically, DJ Neptune drops this track featuring Rema called For You. And as DJ Neptune dropped the album, Rema also dropped some tweets and he was like complaining basically about the fact that he didn't approve of the song to be dropped, more or less. And that on its own screams copyright infringement. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain to you right now. So copyright is the exclusive right you get when you create like an intellectual property such as a song. Copyright is a property right. It can be sold or it can be bought. Okay, very important. It can also be licensed and it can also be assigned. So for an artist in a record label who creates a tune, or technically speaking, a sound recording, who gets the copyright, it's usually the person who paid for the sound recording to be made, which is in often case the label. But then, to be actually clear, the record label, the contract between the record label and the artist defines this or determines this. So let's not go around throwing fingers already. But many times these things are confusing, and this is why you should follow the 2 Cents show if you aren't already, so you get to know these things. If this was independently Rema's work, then there will be a clear infringement on his copyright. But from the statements released by DJ Neptune, you can see that he never directly conversed with Rema, but with his record label. This on face value implies who owned the copyright, and if the statement claims that he cleared it if the statement and if the statement claims that he cleared it off with his record label, it settles the question as to copyright infringement. One would think that since Don Jazzy was one of the first persons who listened to the album even before it was released, that clears issues. Well, maybe not. Sometimes artists do own their art, and if this is one of those situations, then Don Jazzy listening to it doesn't clear it. But that's basically it. My personal opinion is that I feel like the track could have been taken off. Um, because the song's great and the album's great as well, but all this bad publicity, which is also good publicity, could have been prevented. But DJ Neptune's statement, they say that if they had to recall the song, it would have led to them recalling the album because probably the album had gone out already, and this would have incurred some expenses and a pushback release date. It's a price to pay depending on who's complaining though. But on Rema's side, I would have advised that he consulted with a lawyer before the whole Twitter thing, because the tracklist had been out for a while and this wasn't sorted out before the album release, so you can get his annoyance. Sadly, these things happen, but that's the life of an entertainer, especially when you don't have proper clarity or you don't have someone to explain these things to you. That's why you have Mila. Copyright infringement is wrong, but that's actually if you own the exclusive rights to the intellectual property. Finally, Dotson did say that Rema did not grow alone and should remember the fellas that did help him. I think this is true. In the sense that DJs do help like promote your music through like radio playlists, clubs, their playlists, mixtapes, and all. But then this shouldn't be used as an excuse to write on anyone's humility. So what's the lesson here though? First of all, always know your rights as an entertainer. These things can get confusing. Note that I'm not on like specifying these things to only musicians, to all entertainers out there. These things can get confusing, and if you have the money, even if you don't have the money, you can get a lawyer to protect your rights. Now, this does not matter if you're in a record label or not. Your record label will have their lawyer. You should also have yours as well, someone you can communicate to understand your rights. Secondly, get a lawyer to resolve issues that do happen. It's a lot faster, it's a lot easier, and nobody would have to know about it. Finally, labels communicate properly with your artist, and artists do the same. Love and light though. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I've explained things from both sides of the house, and I hope it's clear. Do leave a comment though underneath if you have any issues. I can clarify in the comment section. And do follow the 2 Cent show because issues like this do get cleared out like once they do happen. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the Rema and DJ Neptune situation. Stay safe out there.